in over here live on the YouTube channel, y'all. I love what I get to do for God. I love when I get to come up here to motivate, empower, and just see y'all up here on the lives. I want to personally tell each and every one of y'all that's been showing up for the lives, that's been watching the replays, that's just part of what God is doing with this channel. A big thank you from the bottom of my heart. This is an answered prayer to be able to know what my purpose is, to be able to be the authentic me who God has created me to be. And that's what your purpose is God using what he has built within you, that gift that he has given you, just to be the you who God has created you to be. So I don't come on here to be nobody else. Y'all may hear bits and pieces of different speakers or mentors that has mentored and poured into my life. Like y'all hear me talk about my mentor and my life coaches like Latoya Okia. And if y'all haven't checked out her channel, please do. That channel has transformed my way of thinking, my way of life. Also, my personal pastor, his name is Justin Mitchell. He has poured into my life from day one when I was like broken, y'all. So I'm just excited as God has brought me to a place, y'all. I'm trying to fix this necklace, y'all. I notice it be moving when I'm talking. I'm just so grateful God has brought me to a space where I can literally know what my purpose is and still growing in that. And then be able to know that it is benefiting, it is giving y'all value as God's victorious one. So I'm never coming on here to receive any accolades of it that is of me, because it's never of me. I'm just a vessel that God utilizes, y'all. And I'm just obedient, an obedient vessel that God utilizes. So you're a vessel as well. And I go to tell you that because I don't never need you to look at anybody, any pastor, no matter how big their name is, any YouTuber, no matter how big their name is. You serve, and there is a big God that created you. And he specialized, uniquely created you the way that he needed you to, because whatever that thing is that God gifted you to do, he gifted it for you, meaning nobody cannot duplicate nor replicate the thing that you do, the thing that God birthed you to do. And I love when God always tell me to tell y'all, it's never about the perfection of you. It's never about you being the perfect you, because none of us are perfect. But God created us with a purpose. So I'm just purposed to come up here to speak, to empower the hearts of God's victorious ones. And like I said, I'm grateful for all of y'all that consistently show up to the lives. I come up here, like I said, not of my power, not of my might, but of Holy Spirit. So I just love what I get to do for God, because I know what I do for God doesn't come without him noticing. I know what I do for God is not within me, but of God. And that's why I tell y'all all the time, don't let distractions stop you. Don't let the enemy stop you. Don't allow people that don't understand to stop you. Don't allow people that don't support you to stop you. It's not about people. It's not about the enemy. It's about you literally saying, I'm going to become the new me. I'm not going to sit here stuck on who God created. I'm not going to stay stuck on what the old me used to be, but I'm literally going to rise up and become the victorious me. So that's what I come up here for, y'all, is to remind you of who God has created you to be. That way you don't allow your current circumstances to stop you. That way you don't let the old mindset you used to have to stop you, but you enduring and you're pushing and you becoming everything that God has created you to be. And when people come for you, when people say things about you, allow them to do what they're doing. You're getting their attention. Apparently, you're drawing something into them because they got to be negative. But don't allow that negativity to stop you. Don't allow that negativity to make you feel small. Instead, say, I must be doing something right because I'm grabbing their attention. So on today, y'all, this is what God gave me to speak to his victorious ones. And that's each and every one of you that have come across this live, each and every one of you that is part of this channel, each and every one of you that God has in this room. God is speaking, and he said, this is your time to let go of anything that's not working for you. Y'all notice I talk about that all the time. Whatever's not working for you, you have to let it go. And whatever that thing is for you is not going to be the same as me. I just give y'all examples of my personal life to help light a fire in you. That way you can get an example of real life, because I am a real person. I am a person that goes through things and grows through things. But I like that God causes me to be crystal clear, to be honest with y'all. That way you know that you know I'm just not reading off a script. My life is the script. And with that being said, whatever that thing is for your life right now, I want you to zone in on it. What is that thing that's causing you to stay stuck? That thing may be your personal mindset right now. Let's just be real. Are you being fearful and letting fear stop you? Are you letting what others used to say to you keep replaying in your mind? And I say this to y'all because that was the old me. I allowed what the old things people used to say to me, meaning like if you were bullied in school, let's just be real, because kids could be cruel sometimes, y'all. You will let that stay with you, and you will let that thing be your identity, because that's how the enemy works. He try to make you feel that you're small because of the imperfections, and I did it like this, that the world be trying to pick at. But let the world do what they do. That small thinking, that small level mindset, I said it because I'm going to say it. Don't allow that to stop you. Don't allow the negativity of what people say stop you. Like I used to get teased all the time about my bigger glasses, my kinkier hair. But God, I am delivered from that because I don't have to wear thicker glasses. I can put contacts in. Natural hair is now in style. I don't have my natural hair now, but when I wear my natural hair, that's in style. So don't let what the enemy used to try to work against you to still cause you to stay stuck. And he gonna try to keep on them same shots. Oh, look at this, look at that. Using the enemy of other people. I said it, them spirits, to try to tell you you're not good enough because of the exterior look of who you called to be. Don't let that stop you. Don't let that stop you. The exterior is how God created you to be. How you doing? How you doing, Jay? Thank you for coming, sweetheart. Thank you. I know for whoever come on here, those of you that's built to come on this channel, I know y'all going to be spiritually led. I'm on here to just give y'all a quick word on tonight. I'm not going to be on here long, y'all. I was on here almost 2 hours last night. But I knew to come on and do what God has called me to do. I know I'm here for a purpose. And my purpose is literally to pour into empowerment and motivation into those of y'all that's literally each and every day you getting up. You letting your old identity cause you to stay stuck. You allowing the opinions of other people to cause you to stay stuck. You causing yourself, meaning you letting your past to keep you stuck. That's who I'm called to speak to. And anybody that comes in here of anything that is not of that, I don't even let that stop me. And y'all don't let that distract y'all either. Whenever negativity try to be drawn in, y'all know the enemy got to try his way in one way or another. But even he serves a purpose. That allows me to see how God has drawn me to be strong in my faith, to be strong in distraction. Because distraction, that's one of the main things, y'all hear me out now, that's going to try to stop you. And don't you allow the enemy to stop you with negativity. Be able to look at it for what it is and say, there must be something powerful in me. And this you talking it to you. This is for the you that don't understand why you always persecuted and talked about. I'm talking about your outward appearance. Meaning you know your heart is of love. You know that you treat people right. But all of a sudden the enemy try to pick out the imperfections of your identity or have you look on the outside, the surface level stuff. Don't allow that to stop you. Don't let what the world's opinion of beauty to stop you. The right people will see the value that you carry, and they will support you. Continue to become the better you the way that you need to, meaning, grooming and dressing and all that. But don't let that be the reason why you like, I ain't good enough. You good enough because God created you. You good enough because God knew what he birthed you with. And I love that I can be real with y'all because like I told y'all for so long, the enemy tried to always use individuals, because that's what he do. They try to make you feel like you're not good enough because you may have the bigger glasses, the kinkier hair. Come on. Don't let that stop you. So that's how I want you to feel whenever the enemy try to play in your mind about how you look. Be like, that's how God created me, authentically and uniquely. Just like I gave y'all that example yesterday about Stanley Cups. There was a time Stanley Cups were not popular, but then when certain people started utilizing them Stanley Cups, they became popular and of value. So that's the same thing with you. Don't feel like you're not valuable because certain people don't recognize it at a certain time. But the more that you build and become who God created you to be, others going to be able to look at your life and say, oh, because of the spirit that you carry. So do not allow the enemies of this world, the negativity of this world, to stop you from being who God created you to be. And the more that I speak it to y'all, the more fire get within me, because that is the one area in my life that the enemy be trying to attack. But God, God says, say it again, daughter. But God, he will try to attack your life because he wants you to think that what you carry, meaning your spirit of love, your spirit of joy, the peace that God helps you with in spite of. The devil will try to make you feel like you being the light, you being the happy, that there's something wrong with you. But the more that you grow with God, the more you are intentional with God, he has a way of revealing to you that your light is necessary and needed in this dark world. Thinking about at nighttime when the stars light up the sky. There's still darkness, come on, but those stars outshine the darkness. Those stars outshine the darkness. That means when you walk into atmospheres, you don't have to speak to be noticed. God said just that spirit that you carry is going to be noticed. So I don't want y'all to be shy or nervous, fearful, or intimidated when the enemy try to play with your mind, or the enemy try to use negative spirits to try to play against you about how you look. Be able to know, you know what, my heart is what matters. I'll never forget my coach, Latoya Okia, was doing a class, and she said this, and I'm going to share it with y'all. They may have me in the beauty department, although I love me. I want y'all to catch this in the spirit. They may have you in the beauty department. All the beautiful makeup, all the long lavish hair, the beautiful nails, the latest clothes, and the latest fashion. Ooh, but God said, and this you humbly knowing it, they ain't got me with my heart. So continue to grow your heart posture of love, peace, and happiness. And do not allow the enemy, because God said, talk about him. Do not allow the enemy to distract you with the tactics of letting you think that you are not good enough. Those insecurities. No longer. No longer. So you have to let go of what's not working for you. And one of those things that God is tuning in and zoning in on this video, as I keep just letting Holy Spirit speak, is you not allowing what the devil try to throw at you to stop you. The spiritual warfare that the enemy try to throw at you to stop you. And the spiritual warfare, I'm just zoning on in, and I'm not going to be scared to talk about it, or fearful to talk about it, or intimidated to talk about it. Those negative spirits. God said love them anyway. And how you going to love them? You're going to know how to move around them, meaning they don't have direct access to you. You're going to know how to cover yourself with the oil, inside and out, meaning you protected. You're going to make sure you put on your armor on whenever you go out in this world, so you're protected. But God said, know that you don't have to change or conform to the darkness of this world to fit in. Your light that you carry, that value that you carry, is going to intimidate darkness. So since it intimidates darkness, that's the assignment of the enemy. It's to try. God said, I was about to say allow, but God said try to allow you to feel small. But there's nothing, and I repeat, nothing small about you. Yes, you that have decided not to stay in broken relationships to conform. For the you that have decided not to get in environments that you know that you're not called to, there's nothing small about you rising up and becoming the victorious you. And what is a victorious one? A victorious one is okay with being the different one from the world. Because you're for kingdom use, kingdom value. God called you to be set apart because he needed you not to be like the world. He needed you to be the light that you carry, because it's your light, that's going to help carry others when they feel down. Think about it. It's other people's lights that has helped you to help you be carried. So don't dim your light. God say grow. And even on days when you're not perfect, which none of us are, if you're not speaking perfect, I just stumbled over my words in this video plenty today. It's because I've been working all day, y'all, been a mother. But I said, you know what? I'm going to be me. I'm going to be faithful for what God gave me to do and go from there. Because being perfect, you waiting on perfection, you going to keep waiting forever. Waiting on other people's approval, you going to be waiting forever. God say, do what you got to do for you. Grow for you. Heal for you. Become the best version for you. And others going to start noticing. And you going to not be able to settle for their validation. You going to love that they complimenting you. But you going to know that people wasn't sitting at your table of growth and development and elevation. But God was there. God never left you. God never forsake you. God was there when you was in them valley moments crying tears for water, like my coach Latoya Okia say. God gonna know when you was doing what God called you to do and others maybe wasn't resonating or understanding the purpose or the calling behind your life. But that just shows your endurance on who you called to be. You do it anyways. So that's what I'm sitting here purpose to tell y'all on today. If you in a season of growing and other people not giving you the accolades, the validation, or the likes, be okay with that. You got to go forth anyway. That's what God said. Ooh, God said. You got to grow forth anyway. You got to do your baby steps anyway. You got to elevate anyway. In order to get to the next level, it's about new decisions. New decisions mean you have to be disciplined. New decisions mean others may not be able to come with you. New decisions mean even when you're not having a perfect moment or doing whatever God called you to do perfectly, you doing it just the best that you can do. And you doing it the best that you can do, congratulate yourself. Because on today, I have noticed I stumbled a little more on my words today, but I'm proud of myself because I pushed forward, because I knew I had to give y'all, if not a long word of encouragement and motivation, a word for the 1, the 2, the 3, or even the thousands, because I claim it. To see this word that's going to help them to not wait on other people, not to wait on perfect opportunity, but you say, you know what? I'm going to start now with what God has given me. Instead of me sitting here sleeping and stuck and worrying, and in toxicity, I'm going to rise up and I'm going to heal. I'm going to rise up full force with my purpose of growing. I'm going to do what God called me to do because I know that sleeping on myself, it ain't working for me. That being stuck and bothered by what other people feel about me, it ain't working for me. Because as long as I did that victorious one, sat and worry about what people thought about me, I could not authentically do what God purposed me to do. Because this, what I do for God, it comes with warfare. But the beauty of it, because I'm going to say it, the beauty of the warfare is it teaches you. Running from the battle, that God ordains, it don't grow you. God often say, I sunk that battle. Because I knew you would fight through it. God say, speak it again. Sometimes God ordains and orchestrates that battle because he said, I knew you would stand victorious, tough in it. Meaning you knew that battle was growing you. You knew the battle was testing you. You knew the battle was teaching you the discipline. You knew the battle, was teaching you how to stand firm with God. Even if nobody else was standing with you, God was right there with you, saying, I got you, daughter. I got you, son. Look at you. This is how God be doing when you be with God, and maybe a lot of other people ain't cheering you on. And that's the beauty of just doing what God called you to do. God be like, look at you being unshakable. God say, look at you being unmovable. God say, look at you, because I'm proud of you being unbothered. The video I did yesterday, we spoke about that. Being unshakable, unbothered, unmovable, unrecognizable. That's what it does when you stand firm with God. When the results don't look like results are happening, but you doing what's necessary. And before you know it, you're going to be like, you know what? I stayed the course of that fight. I stayed the course of that battle. And look how victory has come to my life. I'm talking to you. Victory comes when you don't give up. Victory comes when you continue to fight. Victory comes when you continue to believe in yourself, even on them days when you like, God, I don't know. Victory comes when you allow faith, come on, to be your focus and not what the physical reality of your circumstances may look like. So you continue to receive your victory moment now. Not when the results come in, not when everybody start cheering you on, not when everybody validating you, but you continue to fight with whatever God told you to do. And I love when God be like, daughter, I don't care how many people watching your live. And this is for the you where God giving you instruction. Don't wait on the audience to wait on you. You be the trendsetter. You be the one that God sent, that he already paved the way. And God said, all I need you to do is continue. Listen to God now. God said, I just need you to continue on the path that he has paved for you. Even if it's just God and you. Because eventually, the fruit going to show up. Eventually, others going to recognize you for real about your purpose. Eventually, God going to see for real him too. He going to say, you passed the test, daughter. You passed the test, son. Because you wasn't doing it for the world likes. You was doing it for real for God. That's how he tests us. There you are, Star and Mr. Keith. I see y'all tuning in. And I appreciate y'all showing up. And as I tell y'all all the time, because God say talk about it. Show up for you. Whatever that dream is God gave you, whatever that vision is God gave you, show up for it. Show up for it. Show up for it. And you're going to be so proud of yourself for not giving up in the midst of other things that may be going on in your life. I just feel led to tell y'all that. Show up for you. Because when you show up for you, God say it, others going to recognize that you don't have to wait on them. That's how God say it. You ain't got to wait on their applause. You ain't got to wait on them sowing into who God created you to be. God said he has given you everything you need to do and become who he called you to be. You have everything you need because you got God on your time, your team, on your side. So as long as you got him, y'all, and I'm just winding this thing down, but I knew I had to come on here tonight, y'all. God, because he be telling me, he be saying, you got to go tell them this. Because I remember a time, y'all, when I needed to be woken up spiritually, when I needed the reminders, because I was still growing. And I still need those things, y'all. So since I know I'm called and purposed to speak and to motivate and to encourage and to coach, y'all, I'm going to show up. Stuttering and all. Sometimes tired and all, y'all, because I worked today. I cooked today. I done been to the grocery store today. But I knew I had to show up for my kingdom assignment. It is not about being perfect. If anybody ever looking for perfect, even when it come to y'all, that means you know they're just not a part of your journey. You don't need people waiting on perfection of you anyway. You want people that's going to see that you purpose. You want people to see that you're human, but you somebody full of intentionality, and you for real about God, and you for real about growth. You don't want people that's teeter-tottering between who you called to be. It's a beautiful thing when God, y'all already know what I talked about yesterday, when God hand you these, and God said, you got to cut that out because that can't go with you. God said, you got to cut that person out, not because they're a bad person, but they cannot grow with that version of you that I've created you to be. Because that used to be my distraction. I wasn't comfortable being a free me. Ooh, y'all listen to me, because this is real talk tonight. I wasn't comfortable being a free me because I was comfortable allowing other people negative, I said it, opinions of me stop me. Don't let that happen to you. Some people are negative, because I'm going to be real. This ain't about no sugarcoating tonight, y'all. Some people are negative because they see what is in you and they try to trick you to make you think that you aren't what God called you to be. I'm waking y'all up tonight. The more I'm growing, the more I'm learning, the more I'm ready to give y'all the real information. Not that fake stuff. We talking about real growth. We talking about you for real becoming who God called you to be. And that comes with, for real, not a lot of people on your team having your back. But when you start growing, when you start elevating, when God start opening up doors, not everybody want to know and remember. They said, "Oh, I remember who that was," and God say, "Love them anyway." But recognize this is what Holy Spirit speaking to me. For those of y'all on here, Star and Keith, God said, "Remember who was with you when you was in your valley moments." When you was in those low level moments, not spiritually because you was growing, but when you maybe didn't have all these resources, you maybe didn't have everything wasn't popping off like it looked like it was, because you had a dream. Because you have a dream, but you know what God prophesies over you. You know what God promised you, but you just in the cultivating stages of it. Think about a farmer cultivating a field of corn. At first, it don't look like corn. It look like a bunch of dirt. Ooh. So right now, your dream, your vision that God has given you may look like dirt. Ooh. But the more you do that root work, and that's that work that's done underground. Cultivating the roots, watering the roots, protecting the roots. And I'm talking about the roots of a plant, but I'm talking about your inner self, your inner peace. What's being poured into you. The more that you do that, let me tell you something, victorious ones. You are seriously going to become unbothered, because that's the season I'm in. Waiting on other people to support you. You are literally going to be laser focused on what God called you to be. Why? Because you have made room not to be distracted. And it hurts sometimes because people do fall off and you like, what happened? God said, you ain't do nothing. They didn't do nothing. Room just had to be made for growth. So if God is doing that in your life, don't take it personal if people remove themselves from your life. Don't force yourself to be in their life. Focus in on what God has told you to do. And I'm not telling y'all that's always easy, because I feel like that sometimes in my own personal life. But God said you got to remember the times you prayed for what you have, and that comes with a price. And that's part of the price that you pay, is that you literally be different. You're not going to have a lot of people understanding your spirit, but you understand God has called you to be the new you. And you got to be that new person, because you being that old broken you, it wasn't working for you. You sitting there stuck and sleep on yourself, it wasn't working for you. You waiting on the validation of other people, it wasn't working for you. So since it wasn't working for you, hey Zoe, you know you had to become fearless. Who? You know you had to become the bold you. You know you had to become the courageous you. And the bold you and the courageousness, I'm not talking about in your speech. That's just how I talk, y'all. I'm talking about you literally standing up for your life. And what does standing up for your life mean? Meaning you have set up boundaries because you know you have to. Because the old you didn't set up boundaries and you allow anybody and everybody to have access to your heart. You kept allowing your heart to get broken and broken and broken because you was allowing that, because you didn't feel like you had value. Ooh, but you have to wake up to your value. And your value is not based on your valuables. Your value is based on who God has created you to be. Your value is based on you choosing not to stay the broken you, but you becoming the stronger, refined you. And that's not always going to be received. But God has chosen you to be different because he knew that you would do it. He knew you was the man for the job. He knew you was the victorious one for the job. So God said, you remember you prayed for this? So now that I have revealed it to you who you called to be, know that it comes with a price of that being misunderstood. It comes with a price of persecution. It comes with a price of you being obedient to God, even if it look crazy to other people and they don't support you. And the more that I'm living, y'all, for real, in my purpose, it becomes so real to me now, what I used to hear my personal coaches and mentors talk about. When you have a calling on your life, when you have the anointing on your life, yes, it's a beautiful thing when God uses you the way that he do. And I know God used me last night, because when I tell y'all, that was all God, from the strength to the words, because I ain't expect myself to be on there almost 2 hours last night, but God. Tonight, I'm pushing. But you know what? I'm going to push for God because God be pushing for me. Ooh. God said, say that thing again. I'm going to push for God because God be pushing for me. So that's the same thing for you. Be intentional about what God do for you. Don't be just using God and calling out to God, and then when he fix it, you back out doing the same thing. That used to be me. But now that I wholeheartedly, y'all, and I'm not saying that I'm perfect, but I'm nowhere near the person I used to be 5 years ago. Choose to become the authentic you that God has called you to be. Persecuted and all, misunderstood and all. Because God said in that in itself, that shows your faithfulness to God. Because you are going to be different. You are going to be talked about. But God say, let them talk as you grow. Let them persecute as I handled your lightweight. Ooh. Don't be focused on that. And that ain't always easy, y'all. But God say, pray for them. For they know not what they do. But God said, don't allow that to change your heart posture. Because when you done the work to really become the better you, you're going to be like, you know what? I ain't going to allow that to change me. But I know my boundaries now. I know how to move about that now. So y'all, I really pray that this word got to y'all that heard this word. Mr. Keith, who on here. Zoe, I'm going to call you Zoe, sweetheart. And Beautiful Star. I personally see y'all names on here, so that's who I'm speaking about. I personally want to tell all y'all thank you for joining the live on today. Y'all continue to put y'all post notifications on. I'm on here literally each and every day, y'all, to give y'all what God has purposed me to do. Give y'all the motivation, the empowerment, the truth that's going to help set you free. And this is something today I want to tell y'all too. I'm trying to end it, but let me tell y'all this before we go for real, for real. Often, the truth hurts. Meaning, the truth about how other people treated you in your past. How they manipulated you in your past because you didn't know what that was. Often the truth hurts because God will tell you you have to break off the toxicity because that ain't working for you. Let's just be real. God will show and reveal that to you. He'll reveal to you you played your part in that too. Not to say it was all you, but God be like, you played your part. Because now that you have learned the truth, God will turn up the heat in that situation, y'all. And I've been there. When God was like, you know the truth now about not being married and being living with people. Just different stuff like that. And you still praying to God to fix it. And God like, now you know better. Do better. So that's why I come on here. I'm never on here to persecute y'all. If y'all ever hear me just talking real, like for real, raw about a situation, it's because I had to grow through that thing, y'all. I had to hurt through that thing. And since I have grown through that hurt of that thing, whatever it is that y'all be hearing me speak about, it's because I know God can deliver you out of the mess. But once God delivers us out of that, he don't expect us to keep on getting back in that mud. When we know better. I'm just being real. And that's where the fight come in at. Because it's not that you don't have the same feelings or desires. It's that you eating the newness, the freshness. So God says, starve that stuff that gotta go. That's the only way you're going to change. And it don't matter how spiritual you are, not how holy you are, how anointed you are. That never takes away the desire of things that God don't tell us to do. Because I'm going to be real. But it's in your decisions. The desires may still be there because you're flesh. God say it. But it's in your decision that makes the difference. So whatever that thing is you keep running to, whatever relationship you keep running to, whatever mindset or place you keep running to, and you keep asking God to deliver you, and he be delivering you, but you keep going back. Come on. God said you have to choose it. So you can listen to all the motivational speaking that you want. You can listen to all the preaching that you want. But change never happens for any of us, and I'm talking about even me, until I decided to be the change for my life. So you decide to be the change for your life. And don't allow anybody to manipulate you until that you're not doing good. Because that's what the enemy will do. That's one of his tactics. Is to make you feel like you cray-cray in your head. Nah. Ain't nothing cray-cray about living for God. Ain't nothing cray-cray about waking up to what your soul is. Because y'all, there is a heaven or hell. There is. So God said, I'm waking you up to truth about who you're called to be for God, so that you will know your purpose in life. That's what has helped me, y'all. That is what has helped me. All our life, we be knowing we can choose eternity in heaven or hell. But we still chose to live in darkness and do things our way. Because we was running and hiding. But God said, you don't know the day nor the hour, because that's how he did me 5 years ago. You don't know the day nor the hour that I'm coming. And you playing Russian roulette with your life. God was like, I'm going to say this, y'all, before I go, but I'm being real for real now. God said, you going to keep on putting yourself in them broken relationships and don't know the day nor the hour I'm going to take you home. And you playing around with your life. Let's just be real. You entertaining things that you know you should not be doing. Not because somebody told you, ooh, but because I told you. Just like we have our earthly parents, God said the voice that you better listen to, the loudest, hear the loudest, and be obedient is our Heavenly Father. And how do you do that? You build a close relationship with God. You do. And it don't always feel good to be obedient when God tells us to do, y'all. Because we be wanting to do it our way. But God be protecting us from things we don't see. Rooms where people may be transpiring against us. God be protecting us from that. But we be putting ourselves, or have put ourselves in that darkness. But God still protected us even when we wasn't living for him. But God is delivering us out of that mindset, that lifestyle, so we'll have a powerful purpose behind our pain. Ain't that a beautiful thing? God said, you can't redo the past. God said, ooh, you can't redo the past because the past was what it was. But God said, you have a risen Savior that has redeemed you as you have repented. So the best thing any of us can do is stop taking advantage of what God has done for us. Risen us out of our mess. And we know when we weren't even living for God, we was crying for God, and who came and saved us? We all should have an example of that, y'all. I can think of time and time again. And I said, God, get me out of this. Meaning I wasn't living for God then, y'all. Wasn't praying to God, none of that. But I said, God, help me. And what did God come do? He came to the rescue and saved me from my mess. So on today, be okay with being a different you. Be the you that's okay with being the unrecognizable you. That's the message I did yesterday. And it's crazy that I did that message yesterday. Y'all, I got a testimony to tell y'all. So my coach, Latoya O'Keefe, who I talk about all the time, I ended up watching the video she dropped yesterday, y'all. And that thing about dropped me to my knees this morning, because that's what I do in the morning as I'm getting ready for work. That's how you know God is something amazing. I did that video last night, y'all, for those of you that was on the live, and I spoke about you gonna be unrecognizable. That's what she spoke about in her last video. I said, God, what is going on? God said, I got messengers for you. Meaning that's who God has used. And I always say vessel. It's not her as a person, but it's her as a vessel that God has used to help me in my life. So when I do watch her, like I listen to her, because that's who has helped me grow and continues to help me grow. I listened to her video this morning, and she spoke exactly what I was speaking to y'all. So ain't God something that it's like he giving me revelation on what's to come. So that gave me a fulfillment. So God was basically telling me, and I want y'all to just hear your coach out. It ain't about me, but hear me for those of you that need to hear this part. God was telling me, see, you was right in alignment with what I need you to speak to my victorious ones. Ooh. And God said, you was right in alignment what's about to happen in your life. So that's why I want y'all to stay in alignment. As God grow y'all, if this is the channel God wants you at, you know what I said? If. Because only you gonna know if God led you here. Don't wait on how many subscribers I have, the popularity of people in the lives. You come in and be fed by how God leads you. Because I'm just being obedient. I'm grateful for what God gave me to do. I'm grateful for all y'all that's coming on here to grow. I want y'all to continue to grow so your coach can hear testimonies behind y'all growing, and we can continue to testify together of the goodness of our fight. Because ain't no way, and I'm going to speak this over all of us in my southern slang, and I got to turn the music up a little bit on this. It ain't no way that we keep fighting, getting up, dusting ourselves up off again. It ain't no way that we ain't gonna get the victory. So this is for the you that's been fighting with your tears. This is for the you who that's been fighting with test after test, trial after trial. The devil keep trying you after, because it be him sometime. These videos are for you. When y'all see me up here, these are for y'all. For my life to be a living testimony to what God will do in your life. He will change your story when you decide to change who you were. So I don't want you to think, oh, I'm too broken. I'm too lost. I'm too used, that God can't use me. Just in case you ain't check. Spoiler alert. Those are the people that God uses. Those of us that are shunned upon. Those of us, y'all know the saying, the black sheeps. Those are us that are just stood apart. Those are us that may not look what beauty standards are of the world. Those are us that may stutter sometimes. Those of us who have committed all kind of sin. I'm talking about the Bible, words of God. That's who God chooses. So don't think something weird about you when other people don't recognize that you God's pick. You know that you God's pick. Because the more that you grow, he gonna confirm it to you. Only way you gonna know is if you keep growing. Keep growing. Keep fighting. Keep becoming everything God has purposed you to be. Because all that you went through, it has to work together for your good. That is what Romans 8:28 says. It has to work together for your good. Don't allow people to stop you. Don't allow the validation of what people say about you. Don't allow negativity to stop you. Allow that to put a fire in you to say, I'm not going to allow that to keep stopping me, because for so long, you talking to you, you squaring up with you, for so long I said settling. So don't settle no more. You rise above and you become and you do what God has called you to be and do what God has called you to do. Not being perfect, but purpose. It ain't working for you, that old stuff. So God say, now it's time for you to step out of that old stuff and step into the new. So instead of hearing pastors and ministers talk about the new and you steady sitting in the old, decide to hear it, decide to live it, so that you really can see what newness look like. Because so long, that's what I did. God got a new thing for me, but I'm steady doing the old and waiting on the new. God got a new horizon for me, and he do, because every day we wake up to a new horizon. But God also has a new life for us, meaning we don't have to be the brokenness, meaning we don't have to continue to put ourselves in toxic cycle relationships. And it ain't talking about the people we was with. We passed all that. We talking about us facing us, and we saying, you know what? I played my part in that relationship. But now I'm going to play the part of my life really being victorious. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be encouraged. I'm proud of each and every one of y'all that's been faithful with becoming who God called you to be. Because I'm not telling y'all it's an easy process. But the beauty of it is you allow what is uncomfortable, because growth is uncomfortable, not to stop you. You allowed yourself to literally get on this journey, even if ain't nobody else behind you, if ain't nobody else beside you. You said, no, I'm going to keep fighting anyway. I'm going to keep growing anyway. Because I know my victory is on the way. Because I'm going to let God see that I'm for real. I ain't just playing. But I'm going to do what God called me to do. Whatever that is for you. If it's growing, if it's healing, if it's letting go, do it. Do it. And that is what this channel is for, y'all. For me to be a living testimony to y'all, all right? And I appreciate all of y'all. I love all of y'all. And like I said, I love seeing y'all growing. So I'm going to be up here for y'all. And don't y'all ever feel like, oh, I'm seeing today, so I can't listen to Coach Monica. Let that be the days you come. So you could be like, you know what? The old me tried to come up because I did what I did. But I'm going to allow Holy Spirit to not condemn, but to correct. Not to condemn, but to correct. Because we all need correction, y'all. Everybody. Y'all be blessed, y'all. And I love your heart, Star. Mr. Keith, I appreciate you, and I'm proud of your growth. You continue to be and grow into who God called you to be. I'm just on here for y'all. I'm a servant for God's people. And I love when I just even say that, because it helps me to realize it's not about the numbers of people that come up here. Because if I waited on the numbers, I would have never started. If I waited on how many people were coming on here, I would never do it. I know God gonna keep making ways out of no way. I know God is gonna continue to build his channel, because I'm gonna keep showing up for him. Because me showing up for him is me showing up for me. God say that to you too. Ooh. You showing up for God through your obedience and your faithfulness, for however God tell you, is you showing up for you too. So when people don't understand that you're not doing the old stuff, when people don't understand that you're not going to the old places, when people don't understand that you just really had to kind of shy back, not that you're shying back, but y'all get what I'm saying, that you really had to set up boundaries, it ain't about them. It's about you. Because you was trying to make them happy. Because you was trying to muzzle yourself. Because you was trying to water yourself down. And all that wasn't working for you. So God is calling you higher. Meaning, God said you got to rise above that old standard you used to have about yourself. And he going to start calling you to do things that may seem a little uncomfortable because you didn't know that was in you. Because that's how it happened to me. You're going to be like, God, do what? God said, you asking for better. You asking for new levels. Well, I need you to break up and break out. Break up with that old mindset you used to have that you weren't good enough, and break out with that purpose that he has given you. And that's why God said, y'all, that's why we got to let go of the old stuff now while you growing and becoming and like literally being prepared. Because God said when your past try to show up, however it do, because it just do sometime, y'all. You'll be able to recognize it, but you is not watering yourself down. You the new you, and it's unrecognizable even to you. But you know you had to become that person. So you ain't fake. You're literally built victorious one up through you letting go of your old habits, old places, old relationships. So when the past try to come up, you going to be the new you. So you're going to be unbothered, unshakable, unmovable, and unrecognizable. So you're going to keep shining. You're not going to dim your light. You're going to know how to keep your boundaries up. You're going to know how to love anyway, not allowing your heart to have access to them, though. But still praying. But you're like, I can't keep letting my heart keep getting messed up. I can't keep letting my mind be controlled by people and their opinions of me. But I got to rise above. I got to grow because God called me to be victorious. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be encouraged. There's many videos on the channel. If y'all didn't know, I have videos on here with inspirational music. Y'all check it out. On them days when you like, I need a little bit more, there's a whole playlist of motivational music. Any of you looking to book with me one-on-one, I am a certified life coach for the Kingdom of God, y'all. Meaning I coach individuals to help you grow with your goals, accountability. We're in the 7th month out of the year. When you reflect back, what thing have you been zoning in on? You may need a little more help on having accountability. I am your accountability coach. All right. So y'all book with me. I'm so grateful for those of you who have. I'm just grateful for what God is doing. All right. This is an answered prayer, but it comes with the work. So that's the same thing with you. God has called you to hire, but don't allow the work to stop you. Meaning you like, I ain't used to all this work because you ready to stay settling. God saying, nah, victorious ones, we overcome. We adapt. Meaning we adapt to what we currently have going on, but we don't let that stop us from growing. We don't let that stop us from being obedient. That don't mean you don't take moments to rest and refocus and re-strategize. But you gotta be like, I'm about to be disciplined this time. Because me keep giving up on myself. Ooh, this is a perfect line for the end of this video. I gotta be disciplined with myself this time. Because this me keep giving up on myself when things don't look like it should, because I ain't patient, because I ain't willing to do the work, because I'm not willing to go through preparation. It ain't working for me. So I'm not giving up. I'm not giving in. I'm gonna show up for God because He keeps showing up for me. This you talking to you. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be encouraged and continue to grow, becoming the victorious you, because you hold value. Not of the valuables of the world, but with what God put in you. So you have to make sure that you protect it. Protect it. And don't feel bad about protecting what God put in you. All right. Y'all be blessed. Y'all be encouraged. And once again, I appreciate all of y'all that rocked out with me on tonight. I may have stumbled a little bit, y'all, because I have been working today. But I knew to come on here and give y'all a word of encouragement. All right. Y'all be blessed and y'all be encouraged. It has been your coach, Monica Stokes. Y'all be blessed.